gotten capture. The main thing I want to watch now is the value for the periapsis. I don't think we need to let it go below 100 kilometers, because this ship is not intended to actually land on Duna. At least not yet. It may. But the first priority is going to be get some things refueled. Because that's its purpose, is to just, okay, 98 kilometer periapsis. I think we can cut the burn right there. Get rid of the maneuver node. And let's see, we are 9 hours and 26 minutes from periapsis. So let's time warp down. Let's check the alarm list first. Alright, we can get rid of that one. Doing a fuel capture, get rid of that one. E-fuel SOI change in 7 days. We've got time, so let's go ahead and get down to periapsis and bring the apoapsis down to something reasonable. Say somewhere inside the orbit of Ike. Alright. Okay. Periapsis, add maneuver. A lot of retrograde thrust. Well, a little bit anyway. And let's just see if we can't circularize the orbit at a nice 100 kilometers. Where's it at? 441. Looking good. 191. Alright, we have 110 by 87. So we do that, and then when we get up to the apoapsis, bring the 87 back up to 110, and we're good. Alright. Let's get the ship turned in the right direction. Sometime today. There's Ike over there. We'll be visiting that soon enough. But first, we have to deal with this. Okay. 3-minute and 47-second burn. So that's a minute and a half plus half of 47. So I'm going to call it about a minute 50 to start the burn. Getting close. .330 meters per second required for this. Before I get any closer, how much fuel is in here? 737. That may well be enough. Down to a minute 50. Always so hesitant to jump the time warp very quickly. Alright. almost there. 3 seconds. No, excuse me, I was wrong about that. That was 8 seconds, not 3. Alright, and we burn for a low orbit. Nice, reasonable low Duna orbit. Looks like we're going to have it going good here. There's really a whole lot to see here, I know, but at least this one is actually getting where it was intended to go and isn't going to be drifting aimlessly through the solar system for years or whatever until it's finally rescued. And so here we come to one of those points in recording video, a thing that happens occasionally that I really hate, and that is I turned my microphone off briefly. For some reason, I don't even remember what it is now. But the long and the short of it is, I forgot to turn it back on for a long time. A good 40 minutes of video. And so, I have compressed that 40 videos with 4x time acceleration to cut it down into 10 minutes. And now here I am with some post-commentary. A thing that I really don't like doing because it's not as genuine as commentary recorded as something happens live. In any event, having arrived in Duna orbit, I'm working out a transfer to Ike. At first I was trying to do it in one maneuver, but it proved to be too much, and I ended up making up a second maneuver. Yet one where I was at least reasonably close to being in plane with Ike, and then later on I ended up making a second maneuver to actually get the Ike encounter. And during all of this, I was really originally intending to in some way rescue the Kerbal that was trapped on Ike, in addition to loading this lander up with kethane fuel and, well, with kethane and having it refine that into fuel and refill its fuel tanks and refill the ship that brought it there and so on, and start delivering fuel to the ships here around Duna. And that was the plan. I was going to try something crazy, like have the extra Kerbal, because this ship only has a 1 Kerbal capsule. I was going to have the extra guy ride on top of these external fuel tanks on the outside here, and see if perhaps I might be able to get away with that. You know, have him hang on to the ladder close to it or something like that. I don't know. I thought it might possibly work. In any event, after doing this fairly good-sized burn to get the initial plane change and having to, I think in a minute here I have to transfer some fuel from the lander's center tank down to the drive stage. And at this point I was concerned about the periapsis getting so low that it was below the surface of Duna, but also pretty sure that it was going to go back up after a certain point as the orbit changed around where it needed to be. And here I'm transferring the fuel. I shut down the engine, transferred fuel from 2 of the large tanks. Earlier in the burn I had transferred fuel from the center tank. And now we go ahead and finish that burn. And once that's done, I plan another burn to actually get the Ike encounter. Yeah, right here. And that proves to be a whole lot easier than trying to do it all in one original burn. Moving this forward. There we go. There's the icon counter. Delta V cost wasn't too excessive for that part of the burn. Warp ahead. We see Ike ahead of us in the background there. And make a quick burn. And there we have the icon counter happening just as the burn completes. And then it's time to go ahead and warp ahead to the icon counter. Just get an Ike capture and get into orbit around Ike and begin to plan the landing. And now that I've got the ship in Ike orbit, I decided to go ahead and leave the drive stage in the high orbit and take the lander down. And I was going to land right at the same spot, right at the site of the original Kethane miner, whatever it was, and so on. At this point, I decided not to try to rescue the Kerbal, because I was pretty sure that none of the ships around Duna had space for him to be in. And so it would be better to just leave him there until there was another ship that had additional crew space. Now here I'm using the landing guidance section of MacLeod. And the purpose there is to be able to plan the maneuver, to plan the landing. Because when you set target coordinates, which I got from the location of the Kethane miner that's down there that crashed, it puts a red mark on the surface where your planned landing site is, and there's a blue mark that shows where your actual landing site is based on what your maneuver is going to be. And so I get a maneuver planned and work it around to where I get a close approach, a planned landing that is supposed to be close to where the target is. And then I realized, hey, you know, I need to disconnect from the drive stage before planning that maneuver, and so I have to disconnect and plot the maneuver all over again. And it takes a little bit of fussing around and adjusting things and moving the maneuver node to get the right timing. And I finally bring my landing site pretty close to where my target is. And having gotten that finally planned, it's time to activate the engines on the lander, lock their gimbals, and do the deorbit burn. Okay, get our deorbit burn going here in just a few seconds. And I'm coming back to the point now where my commentary that was recorded live after I realized the mic was off picks up in just a minute. And here's another maneuver to fine-tune the landing location. And now we're back to live commentary. And I just realized that my mic has been turned off for some time. My apologies to that. And I'm assuming that I will have some post-commentary during that dead space to make up for that, explaining that I was getting ready for a landing with this ship to pick up some kethane fuel. And that I think the Kerbal there is going to end up staying there until we can get a lander out here. Something that can actually take him aboard and lift off. Because this ship doesn't have room for a Kerbal aboard. Its capsule only holds one, and there's one in there. And the ship can't fly without having somebody aboard because there's no probe body attached. I'm still going with landing close to that original lander anyway because I know there's a kethane deposit there. Just about in time. Burn at T-4 for 8 seconds. And I'm a tad late, but that's okay. Alright, that's good. Close can we zoom? It looks like our target. The blue is the planned target. No, the red is the planned target, and the blue is the actual based on our current velocity and such and so forth. Alright. Time to point this thing retrograde and get it ready for landing. Bring out the landing gear now. Go ahead and leave the lights on, I guess. And while I'm at it, how about turn on the kethane detector, show the map. Well, that's different. Okay. We're out of range at the moment, but that will correct itself in time. Let's go ahead and warp closer. Expecting to set down within 3.5 to 4 kilometers of the target. Oh. We must be within detection range. How's our altitude? Okay, fine, we're fine there. Oops, I meant to do this, not spam the map switch. And of course we're landing on the dark side. Unfortunate in my opinion, but can't really be helped. Let's see. if I put a maneuver here, and once, oh, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to plan a maneuver here to kind of fine-tune my landing site, but it doesn't seem to want to let me. What is that? I didn't want to switch to that either. Good night. Now we'll switch back to the one we're supposed to be flying. Alright, pick target on the map. Show landing prediction. Not bad. Distance from target 1.7 kilometers. I'll go with that. Alright. Pointed retrograde. Oh, I get it. This thing's got lights in the front for docking, but it doesn't have any landing lights. That is another oversight that needs to be corrected in the next version of this ship. Okay, let's warp ahead some. Might as well use the map, at least we can see something there. Alright. With 30 kilometers up and dropping. There's our target, 80 kilometers away. Okay, we've got parachutes, but they're not going to be any good here. So, just going to have to do this landing by the numbers and fly it blind because we can't put any light on the subject. All right. "57 kilometers, 56. Closing fairly quickly. We need to get some braking action going soon here. Too much horizontal velocity, too much velocity, period. Considering how close we're getting to the surface, I don't care for that. And I know this is messing up our landing prediction. But we're just about 7,000 meters from the surface, and we're going very quickly. We need braking. And I'm hoping, you know something? I am going to turn this engine on. Lock the gimbal, activate engine. Gives us some serious braking capability here. The nukes would have been enough, but only if I had started braking a lot sooner. Alright. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh. This is why I hate trying to land in the dark. You can't see the frickin' ground coming up at you. I guess it's back to the drawing board. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.